live recording this right now. It is Wednesday, October 1st. October, Dylan. Baseball around the corner. Baseball's here. Playoff baseball.
Baseball around the corner. Baseball's here. Baseball's still
you know
here.
What do you mean? But it's
around
October.
the corner.
It kind of surprised me.
Midnight watching the Reds get their cheeks clapped by the West Coast Dodgers.
Dylan, we're doing this at the butt crack of dawn right now, and I just kind of realized it's actually October right now, October 1st. We're recording this right now. We're doing one pod today, or one pod this week for the previews, all in one, college football, NFL, all in the same thing. We'll talk some headlines. We'll talk about some games. Let's just get right into it. Let's start off in college football. College football, I think this is the funniest headline we've had in a minute. If you don't remember, if you're not a college basketball fan, Bruce Pearl, Auburn head coach, he was deciding if he was going to retire or not, and if he was probably going to run for the open Senate seat, a Republican Senate seat for the state of Alabama. He retires. So he decides not to run for Senate. Then they're like, oh, crap, who's going to run for Senate? Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Feinbaum, ESPN SEC talking head, is now wondering if he's going to leave ESPN to run for a Senate seat. Paul Feinbaum.
Inspired by the Charlie Kirk assassination, he said. That was his inspiration for wanting to run for office. Where do I want to start here? I think the natural progression of males in the public space is when you start out, you want the money. You want to get as much money. But then when you want the money, you realize, wait a second, making more money doesn't really matter to me. I want power. I think that's where Feinbaum is right now. It's like the money's whatever. He's got the money. What's an extra $100,000 for Paul Feinbaum? Now he wants the power. He wants to go run for a Senate seat. Now, I will say, I don't know anything about his political views. He's going to own the debate stage, right?
No, I don't think so.
From having to deal with callers for the entirety of his life?
But I don't feel like he's had to deal with callers. I feel like his call, like Feinbaum, because he's not doing like New York radio type calls where he's like going back at the caller. I feel like he's just kind of a therapy session for these Alabama fans or these SEC fans when they call him like, I want my coach fired. I don't know what's going on. Like, I feel like it's more that rather than him trying to combat these dudes.
I have seen him get pretty feisty with Big Ten supporters. Hey, this is a guy that knows how to debate. If I'm going up and I don't want to debate Paul Feinbaum if I'm the Democratic representative for, I guess he's running for Senate, so there's no districts. But if I'm the Democratic guy, girl, woman running against
I
Paul
wouldn't want to be a
Feinbaum,
Democrat running in the state of Alabama, first off.
That's true. Talk about starting the race about 10 feet behind. Is coach the most powerful position in the South?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would say so.
Being a coach or
that's the most
sports
respected
guy
profession in the South, right?
I think it has, up here in Ohio, we got people, be an engineer, be a data scientist or whatever. But down south, you feel like it's probably a bunch of parents grooming their children to become coaches instead of succeed in the business world.
Because what's the highest paid employee in every state in the South? Alabama
football
coach Jordan Kirby Smart. The highest. I mean, that's how it is most places too. Is Ohio State? That would probably be the high. Ryan Day's probably got to be the highest paid employee.
Let's just say we have a very wealthy donor that's probably bumping up those numbers. That's what I will say about the state of Ohio. Inevitably, what I'm most excited for, the best case scenario here is Paul Feinbaum loses a red Senate seat to a Democrat, and then we just hear Paul Feinbaum go like, oh, well, I would have won this in Indiana. I would have won this seat in Indiana. Or I would have won this seat in Ohio. Or I would have won this seat in Illinois. Look at my resume.
I mean, look at country.
Yes. I'm very excited. That's probably the funniest outcome that could happen.
So is this just like the natural progression? Like, who laid the groundwork for this? Herschel Walker or, who are we talking about here?
Tuberville.
Yeah. My athlete to politics. Yeah. My senator here in Knoxville is Kane, WWE wrestler.
Nice.
You're lying.
Yeah. No, he is. He is. Or not senator, my mayor. My mayor, I believe it is.
Our current attorney general, I don't know who's the second lieutenant governor. Maybe is Jim Tressel. Whoever's under the governor. I think it's lieutenant governor.
Lieutenant
yeah,
governor.
That sounds right. Yeah.
However, he did say he's not running for governor, which kind of shocked me. But sports people.
The funniest part about this is, you know who would just win in a landslide? You know, like sometimes they talk about elections, like, oh, like Michelle Obama should run, and they'll talk about these different people that should run for. Nick Saban would just clean house in this if he wanted that Senate seat.
Oh yeah.
It wouldn't even be close.
It wouldn't even be close. Yeah.
When do we see like a former like mid-tier Alabama quarterback like, oh hey, AJ McCarron is running for the Senate seat this year? I feel like we're not that far away.
No, I think that's going to be very common.
I think so too. And
he'll
probably win.
Georgia senator.
Yeah.
I don't know why people want to get into that life. Maybe that's a whole different discussion, but I don't see why someone would want to leave a job taking calls about football.
At one point in your life, did you want to be a state senator in the Republican?
When I was young, doesn't have to be party specific, but I was young, I told myself, I was like, to be a senator, you make $400,000 a year, you get tons of perks, and you got to vote on bills once every month. I mean, these guys don't work. All you ever see is just them sitting there voting on stuff. It's like, yeah, that'd be the cushiest job ever. But now that I'm 27 and my frontal lobe's developed, I can think about of 100 other jobs that I'd rather be doing, including NYC bus driver, Las Vegas police officer. Those are all jobs I'd rather have than be in politics. And maybe those are the people we need in politics. We don't need the people in politics that want to be in politics. Yeah. The best leaders are probably the ones that don't even want to be in it.
I'm going to nominate you. I'm going to write in a ballot.
Did you guys see the reports from the Twitter account? Dylan's considering running for the Senate seat in Alabama.
It's gonna be a
How
tight
would
race.
that work? I think I've been to Alabama once.
Same here.
I tried to think of a witty response, but I couldn't come up with one.
You're off your game.
Yeah,
I
off
am.
your game.
I really am. It's been a while.
You need to get back to young Republican Dylan.
No, we do not. That's the last thing we need. I balance a pretty good dichotomy right now. My in-laws think I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist conservative, and my blood family thinks I'm a bleeding heart liberal. It's quite the balance we're running right here.
You're just riding right on that fence.
I really am.
Meanwhile, you're just like, I need San Jose to stay under. I don't know what y'all are thinking right now, but I need these guys to run the ball, drain clock.
I don't care who you vote for, just get Michigan an offensive line.
As long as I got my unders and my yeast maker, we're good. Yeah. Your bread maker.
Excuse me.
Are we going to see the pipeline of AP poll voters to politics anytime soon? Or we're not there yet.
I've heard they're still messing around. I see videos about AP poll voters still.
We got the college football rankings, the CFP rankings coming out soon, so they're done.
They're out of a job.
I can't wait.
Are we able to get them booted with the government shutdown? Are we able to work that in somewhere? Get the AP poll voters fired?
No, they're actually shutting down this podcast. This is funded by taxpayer money.
the
government actually a farewell show.
Oh shoot! Well, that politics corner,
goodness.
Nice.
Yeah. That we got there. All
right, real quick. GUN to your head. You voting for Bruce Pearl? You voting for Feinbaum?
Oh gosh, that's an awful question.
Yeah,
I'm going Feinbaum.
Is there like a fat dog I could just vote for? Like they just put on the stand.
Smokey. Let's get Smokey on the ballot.
I'd rather put Sir Purr. Yeah, let me get Sir Purr on the ballot.
That's a tough question.
Sir Purr.
You into my head? I guess Feinbaum. But oh man, I don't feel great about either one.
Is there a world where you're voting Democrat?
Oh, yeah.
There comes to a point where you have to put the best interest of yourself first.
I think Brandon Walker said that on Mostly Sports. He's like, put Feinbaum on a Republican ticket. That's the one way you can get me to vote Democrat.
That's good.
Let's talk some actual football. Connor, you posed this question real quick. You said, give me 3 college quarterbacks you eventually feel will be NFL starters or feel great about them being good in the NFL right now. I couldn't get you 3. I'm going to be honest with you because I don't feel confident there are 3 different quarterbacks right now in college football that I know are going to be, one, just studs in the NFL is one thing, but consistent NFL starters, I really – the only one I can pinpoint to where I feel confident at this point is Dante Moore.
Yeah, I was taking my dog out for a walk last night, his last bathroom break before bed, just doing some self-reflecting on college quarterbacks, trying to come up with the answers to this question. And it is shockingly hard to come up with 3 names that you feel confident in. Genuinely, I just couldn't believe it. Dante Moore, number 1 on my list. I think you're right. At this point in time, I think that's right. Any qualms there?
No. And I will add to that, I think I had him on my list as well. Just what we saw last week, not even so much in the performance, but in the demeanor when he had to make the plays. He looked the part, which for someone in their first big start, we can even compare that to how Manning looked against Ohio State. It's just Dante Moore in his first big game looked so composed. He was my 1A, which might be an overreaction, but it's really not a whole lot to go.
I don't think it is
I think
an
it speaks
overreaction.
It speaks more to the state of everyone else.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't even know though. I think he's honestly kind of that good. I mean, he was doing this in the games against Oregon State, Northwestern, or whatever, but nobody cared because it's like, you're playing against bad competition every week.
And he doesn't technically have to declare this year. He probably will, but he could have one more year, I think.
If he's on the same trajectory all season long, he's going to be a bona fide number 1 pick in the draft. He's going to have to leave.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Number 2, anybody? I got one.
John Mateer.
I don't hate it. He wasn't on my list, but I don't hate it.
If he's healthy, I'm probably going Mateer.
Connor, who's your number 2?
So I gave the caveat with this question that they don't have to come out this year in the draft. They can stay till next year or whatever. I put Lenore Sellers.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was trying to think who's actually going to start for an NFL team and what a pro team would like. He's got all the tools. He's banged up right now. He had the concussion. He's back now. I think he'll obviously stay another year in college. I don't think he comes out this year. Maybe. I think eventually I could see him starting for an NFL franchise. I think the tools are there.
I had him at 3.
Yeah, I think that's a fair pick. Karter? So you got Mateer and then Sellers. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Mateer then Sellers, and then you can just get into I'm just gonna name a list of quarterbacks, and you guys tell me if you think they're gonna be NFL starters in their career.
Wait, real quick, Dylan, who'd you have 2 or 3?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think number 2. I think you could make a serious case for Diego Pavia. And the trajectory that he's taken since he started, he's only gotten better. I mean, the dudes look great. I actually have the PFF quarterback rankings here because I was going to kind of do what you did, Carter, and ask a bunch of players. But Diego Pavia currently power rated number 3 with an 8% big time throw rate. And the fact that he's gotten better every year he's been in college football, that's a positive in my mind. Yeah, it's been all 7 of them. But hey, Bo Nix has been looking good. He looked good his rookie year. He's the franchise guy in Denver now. So
yeah,
I don't think that's crazy. And number 3, man. Give it some time. Bo Perbula. He's my number 3 guy.
Sleeper. I thought you were going to say Bryce Underwood.
Well, I don't know. Need to see more. Need to see more.
There's a lot of these guys I love as college quarterbacks, but as NFL prospects, not at all. I like Marcel Reed at Texas A&M. I would never want him playing it down for my NFL team.
Ty Simpson.
Ty Simpson. Let's give Ty Simpson some time.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's a maybe. Connor,
he was on my
what are we
list.
doing here? You're my Alabama guy.
We're talking NFL. We're not talking Bama. But talking NFL.
I like Chandler Morris from Virginia, but I don't want him playing NFL snaps.
I don't think so.
Castellanos is a perfect example too. He gives me Jalen Milroe vibes.
Let's give Bryce Underwood some time.
Give him some time. We'll see.
I had a sleeper.
Go ahead.
A non-starter. Will Hammond from Texas Tech, the backup. There's potential there. We're talking 3 years down the road.
If he doesn't get the bag from Texas Tech this offseason, he's getting a fat payday from someone else this offseason.
I think so. Him and the Cal quarterback.
He could not play the rest of the year, and let's say Morton comes back, he's healthy, and plays the rest of the year. That one Utah game just probably made Will Hammond $2 to $3 million.
He will be starting for a Power 14 without a doubt next year.
Oh, no question. I could see him in the SEC.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. But yeah, that was a sleeper.
Let me go ahead, Dylan.
Well, I was going to ask if I could read some names here.
Oh,
Okay, you do the
see what we
exercise.
think.
You do the exercise for it.
no,
Okay.
no, it's Dylan Cast. Go ahead.
I'm
dude.
a big exercise guy.
Big.
Brendan Sorsby, Cincinnati.
No.
No.
Number 1 Powerade quarterback currently? No?
No, not an NFL.
Eye test.
Okay. Taylon Green?
No.
I
He's a
don't see
tight
it.
end.
the Tim Tebow path. Jaden Mayava.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go no.
He was
Okay,
the
more no's.
he's the second best quarterback in that. He was the second best quarterback in that Illinois game.
That's true. Rocco Becht?
I think he's another example of love him as a college quarterback, don't necessarily love him as an NFL starter or
He's
NFL
not the-
quarterback.
Yeah, he's not the pro mold. I don't think.
Joey Aguilar.
No.
No. Fun college quarterback. I think a lot of these guys see. Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of these guys on practice squads. It'll be like, oh my god, is that Sean Clifford on the Packers third string?
This is very similar to. It feels similar to college basketball, where it's like Armando Bacot, good player, don't necessarily love him as an NBA player.
Great on the Memphis Hustle.
Shout out to Memphis Hustle and Lithuania now.
Yeah.
Noah Fafita?
No.
I like Noah Fafita a lot. No.
Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, this guy was a Heisman favorite.
Can I be honest? I
Yes.
don't love Nussmeier at all this year. Of the names you've read so far, he's the one I feel most comfortable about.
Probably so.
He's definitely very injured, right? And it's going to come out here very soon, and he might be sitting out games. Like, this dude is not the same player of last year. He is 100% injured. And you'll see
Something's up.
There's LSU message boards, and there's rumblings if you're going through college football, stuff like that. There's a real world we see Garrett Nussmeier shut it down if they lose another game. And if they're out of playoff contention, I bet he's done for the rest of the year.
That I believe. 3 losses maybe.
Yeah, and those, I mean, the way he's playing, and there's no run support. The weapons are decent, not great. Look at the guys. Look at the next 4 games: South Carolina at Vandy, Texas A&M at Alabama. They're not winning. They're not winning 3 of those.
Really?
No, they're losing 2 of those. They lose
I don't
one
think
of
that's
South
crazy.
Carolina, Vandy, and I think they lose both A&M and Alabama.
That would not shock me.
Wow.
Let me go four more real quick here. Sam Levitt.
No.
Nah.
Watch the film.
Can't do
This
it.
guy's he's actually just not an accurate quarterback. His legs surprise me every time.
Haynes King.
No.
Love him, but no.
Fullback.
Yeah. yeah. Jake Retzlaff.
No, my gosh, no.
Oh,
Absolutely
I'm sure there's no
not.
bias there. Sure, there's no
No,
bias
that's
there.
just me watching every snap of this dude's career for the last few years.
Last
Trust
one.
me. And also, I have inside info on that one too. Trust me.
Of course you do, Carter. Of course you do.
What are you talking about? BYU.
It's that propaganda.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Of
I
course
would've
evidence.
I was anti. We
posters.
did this podcast last year. I was an anti Jake Retzlaff guy too. I'm like, this guy's not that good of a quarterback, and BYU just somehow keeps winning football games. They got lucky last year.
Never wrong, just early, Carter.
Never wrong, just early. The last one, Dylan Raiola.
No, oh gosh, no. He
Can't do it.
stinks.
Yeah, I can't
I
do
would
it.
put him number 2 behind Nussmeier in the list we just read.
Yeah, me too.
Honestly, probably.
Me too.
No,
I think
Really?
so. I think so.
I would rather have Mayava than Raiola.
We're talking.
I would rather have a lot of these guys over
I
Raiola.
don't know.
If you're telling me
know.
5 years
What
down
if
the
we
road
see-
where all these
what
guys
if-
are,
What have we seen from Raiola to think he's a good quarterback?
Wouldn't it be just the
he looks like
storyline,
the
though?
MVP.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he didn't look just like Patrick Mahomes, if this dude was just an average looking quarterback and just run of the mill quarterback, everyone would just be like, he's fine.
Could you imagine, though, he gets drafted late rounds or whatever, he ends up starting for some team, and then
No,
the narratives, Matt Rule. What was Matt Rule doing with Dylan Raiola for 3 years?
No, the best case scenario is he ends up being the third string quarterback on the Chiefs, and they throw him out there in a fake punt situation or some weird situation, they try to fool the defense.
There needs to be one thing he does better than Mahomes, and you could put him out there, somehow get him in the same number, and he like looks the exact same, and like, oh, well, that's Patrick, and then he does whatever it is that he does better than Mahomes. Like, oh, wait, that's Dylan, that's not Patrick. I don't know what that would be, though, because Patrick Mahomes has been running the ball more this year.
Dylan, I'm going to name you 5 more quarterbacks, and you tell me if they're NFL guys or not.
Deal.
Cade Klubnik.
Can I go on the record before I answer this?
Yeah, you're ruining it every time.
Can I go on the record? I have no clue.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Okay, all right.
Connor, you can hop in on this too, even though you're just leaving the pod. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Got dog.
Thank
Cade
you.
Klubnik.
Yes.
No, I think I've seen enough.
Carson Beck.
Yes.
He might be a backup.
I think he's a backup quarterback.
The Stetson Bennett path.
Drew
Preseason
Aller.
darling. No.
Drew Aller.
No. Well, actually,
I could see him following the Trace McSorley path.
I was going to say, could this be a scenario where it's like, oh, Drew Aller was not really throwing the ball in college, blah, 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 gets to the pros, and it's like, hey, this guy's not bad in preseason week 4.
Yeah, that could be true, actually.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I see that
Preseason week
one.
4.
Fernando
Preseason
Mendoza.
week 3 now. Sorry, I cut you off. I like Mendoza. Of the people you've named on this list, he's probably one or two.
Mendoza's probably a top 5 quarterback if you're looking at NFL mock drafts at this point.
He's going to go first round this year, I guess.
Do you want my honest answer or do you want my polarizing answer?
Both.
My honest answer is I don't know. My polarizing answer is no.
So,
That was electric.
That's what I'm here for.
let me give you 2 more. CJ Carr, Notre Dame.
No.
Yeah, I don't know, but probably
I kind of like CJ Carr. But he's going to look so much better over this next, 8-9 game stretch when he's playing against the worst defenses in the country. And then
Stock's only going to go up.
And that's the other thing. We might need to get our Jeremiah Love Heisman tickets in because I said that last on the reaction show, but if we get these in now, I mean, if he's scoring like 3 touchdowns a game, the Heisman race is not that good.
It's wide open.
Dante Moore's the favorite right now.
Yeah.
Fernando Mendoza's like 4th.
Why do I feel like we have this conversation, though, every year? Like, week 6 comes, the Heisman race is wide open. Is it ever solidified by week 6?
I feel like a lot of them have been in years past where it's like, yeah, Joe Burrow's probably winning the Heisman. Yeah, Mac Jones, Devontae, like someone from that Alabama team is winning the Heisman.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So,
I will not be betting that, but listeners, feel free to heed Carter's advice.
Anti-KarterKast, it's fine.
No, just anti-Carter.
No, that's true. We all knew that. Anyhow, let's talk some games right now. Let's start off with the game of the week. 7:30 p.m. ABC, Miami, Florida State. Miami's a 4.5-point favorite. Over/under's 53.5. This finally now. Virginia kind of ruined this game a little bit. It took a little juice out of the game. It would be a lot better if these were 2 undefeated teams. We were going to get top 10 matchups. It's going to feel a little bit heavier. But now this becomes a big-time game for Florida State because now that they choked to Virginia, all of a sudden they could have 2 losses in the ACC at this point. Then even if they win out, they might not even make the ACC title game, and then they're going to be a playoff bubble team by the end of the year, even if they're 10-2.
But that is what's crazy is that's what we expected from Florida State coming into, at least what I expected. I didn't even expect to have this conversation about them at this point in the year.
Fair point, especially because you see how they dominated Alabama. You expect a little more, and then I know we should be probably talking about the preview of this game, but Dylan, let me ask you this right now. Before the Miami game, do you think Florida State makes the playoff?
I'll jump. I say no.
I kind of don't think so either.
I don't. I really don't.
That's probably the right answer. And ultimately, what it comes down to for me, I love Tommy Castellanos. Was high on him last year at Boston College. He's going to blow 1 or 2 of these games for Florida State. And that's not a knock on. That's just what the nature of his game is, right? Yep. So you would think they drop one or two more before the end of the year. Do we think it's this week? I keep going back. If this is classic head versus heart, my head says Miami. My heart says buy low on Florida State after the loss to Virginia. Not a bad Virginia team. I have no clue.
I'm just trying to differentiate between like that week 1 game against Alabama. All of a sudden, all the goalposts move for Florida State. And it's like, this is a top 10 team. Like, they're going to win the ACC. Clemson's not good this year, so it's Florida State's year. Nobody was saying that preseason. Nobody was saying this is Florida State's year to win the ACC. Or they're going to be 11-1 and make the playoff. You beat Alabama week 1 in that kind of fashion, the goalposts move. The expectations move. And that's, I think, what's happened here. I'm trying to differentiate in my own head what I actually feel versus what I'm kind of being fed. Like, oh, Florida State's a top 10 team. Do I believe that? Probably not.
I think where I'm trying to, because I understand the internal dialogue that you were having about that. The upset against Alabama, I think I'm going to chalk it up more to Alabama not being prepared week 1. Alabama looked great against Georgia. Ty Simpson has looked great all year.
Right.
But Tommy Castellanos has the makeup of playing spoiler against some of these top. That is just the type of quarterback that Tommy Castellanos is. And we've seen it across the league as well. These quarterbacks with such a high ceiling and low floor, when they perform to that high ceiling, I think specifically of Taylon Green kind of in that group too, even though it didn't look great last week. So you could sit here and tell me Florida State upsets Miami. That wouldn't be crazy. My brain is telling me this is a situation where Miami's defense has looked great. Their defensive line is one of the best. I think they're going to be able to attack Florida State's offensive line effectively. They're great in coverage. My only hookup is, even if you get pressure on Tommy Castellanos, if he doesn't throw the ball, you're not really capitalizing on that because he can run. So if you can make him make throws down the field under pressure, force those turnovers, this game, it's very easily Miami. The problem is, if you collapse the pocket on him and he escapes and he just runs for 15 yards, we're having a different conversation.
You know, my other hang up about this game is I'm in the same boat as you, Dylan, where my mind says, Miami, but my heart kind of says Florida State. This is Miami's first time not playing at home. Took until week 6, and yeah, they've played at home their first 4 games.
Really?
Yeah. Notre Dame, Florida, USF, and Bethune-Cookman. They're all at home. This is their first road game of the season. We saw how insane that environment was in Tallahassee for that Alabama game. Are we a little nervous about this Miami team first road test in Tallahassee right here? Mike Norvell, Tommy Castellanos, and this FSU team coming off a kind of a loss, and then, and it's not necessarily a shorter week for Miami, but I guess Florida State got an extra day of rest, but that's irrelevant. I really think the home field advantage is going to be the deciding factor here. And I kind of want to go Florida State.
I understand where you're coming from. I would just say that Miami's defense has been kind of their calling card thus far this year. Defense travels.
Mm-hmm.
Fair, but the defense
they've held their opponents. They've held their opponents to 14 points a game on average. And you look at the schedule thus far in this young college football season, they played USF, Notre Dame, and Florida. Those are 3 of their 4 games against quality opponents, which really no other college football team can say.
Notre Dame's doing a lot of work there.
USF was everyone's G5 darling.
Yeah, but Dylan and I have been on this. That USF defense is very good. The USF offense.
So we're allowed to retroactively go back and be like, it actually didn't look as good as it did.
Yes, absolutely. Sure. That's the whole point.
Sure.
Of
Yes.
This is why ranked wins are an extremely, once again, I'll use the F word, flawed stat.
I think that's
I'll agree with that use of the F word. I'll agree with that one.
But that wasn't, I didn't say, they've played 3 elite teams. They played 3 quality teams. Like, they didn't play Bethune-Cookman 4 weeks. They didn't play Utah State or Ball Sac State and San Jose State. Like, they played 3 of the 4 games against, I would say, quality opponents.
Sure, but also Florida State did play Alabama and beat Alabama. Like, that is a part of this, too.
Miami beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, but I think
I don't know. You just said CJ
Alabama. We all can agree Alabama's a much better team than Notre Dame, right?
Oh yeah, Roll Tide for sure.
Yes. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Okay, let's put that out there. I will not be betting this game. I want that out there. I will not be betting this game. Miami wins. Don't overthink it. Miami wins. Defense travels. Connor's right.
I've come to the realization when I go into betting mode, I disassociate from my talking mode that I'm in right now because I'm looking at my action app. I have Florida State plus 4.5. But I'm talking. I must have seen something when I was in my dissociative state that led me to believe Florida State. I definitely think that it's just a buy low spot on Florida State after getting upset by a good Virginia team, decent Virginia team. My only hookup is we could see the turnover monster rear its ugly head for Castellanos and this Florida State team, and if that happens, a lot of these stats they have are comparable, and Miami's played a tougher schedule. You tell me you're taking Miami. I don't think you're crazy. I don't have a staunch stance either way. As official pick, I'll go Florida State in the points. It's tough, though. I don't feel
Who's
great
winning
about
outright?
I'm going to thread the needle. I'm going to say Miami.
I agree. I think I'm in the exact same boat.
You guys, man, we're all in lockstep this year. I'm in same thing. I think Miami wins, tight game, 1, 2, 3 point game. I like Florida State to cover by, I think it'll be within a field goal. They're built to compete in these games. Florida State's offense, they're top 5 in yards per game this year so far, top 5 in yards per play. I know they've played some, those stats are inflated with a couple of those quite large wins, 77-0. But anyways, I do think their offense is kind of built to compete in these games. One thing I wanted to look at, Dylan, you mentioned Castellanos on the ground. Miami's run D is actually really, really good. They're 4th in the NCAA this year in rush defense. I do wonder when Castellanos gets out of the pocket if he's able to find success on the scrambles or if he tries to thread the needle, force a throw, something like that. I think the key to Miami here is get him behind the sticks, make him be put in uncomfortable situations, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 13. Try to make him make a play that he's not comfortable doing. I think that's the key to Miami here. I do think this is a tight game. I wrote down weird final score, 28-26. Maybe Florida State has a chance to tie the game with a late 2-point conversion, doesn't get it. Miami wins by 2. I think it's going to be one of those games that comes down to the wire.
I agree. I'm in on that too.
Yeah.
One other note on Florida State that makes me a little bit nervous. Virginia was kind of able to run the ball at will on them.
Yeah. Their rush defense. Yeah. Florida State's rush defense is the weakest part of the defense. They're 50th in EPA allowed per rush, negative .08.
And I think Fletcher and company might have a big game on the ground. If that's the case, then Miami should win this game handily because they have the better defense.
You bring up a great point. You control the time of possession. You make Castellanos feel like he has limited time. Yeah. Maybe he forces some things. Oh, man.
I'm telling you, man, I do worry about Carson Beck going on the road playing at Tallahassee. And, I mean, this is absurd that when we were doing the schedules, how did we not notice that Miami didn't play a road game until week 6?
You noticed something similar. You'd made a comment that they don't leave the state of Florida for a while.
Oh, yeah,
so you were close. Like they went however many weeks without leaving the state of Florida. So we were home adjacent. We were adjacent to that thought, somewhere in the same what's it called in the Avengers universe? The universe.
Not my ball game.
Nobody.
Dimension? What are you talking? This is my wheelhouse, but I'm lost. We're in the same.
Isn't there like a something verse?
Multiverse.
Multiverse, yes. They're in the same multiverse, yes. Thank you, Connor.
Miami wins there. Miami wins.
Miami wins. Florida State covers. Thread the needle.
We nailed it.
I'm in the same boat.
I think we all just nailed that pick. Let's move on. 3:30 kickoff, ABC, Vandy, Alabama. We all remember the upset of last season in Nashville. This game is in Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Tide are favored by 10.5. Over/under 56.5. Connor, give me the case for Vanderbilt pulling off the upset here.
They beat them last year. Anything's possible. It's college football. It's the transfer portal era. Diego Pavia is back for another year. I don't I don't have a strong case for Vanderbilt. I think this is kind of where the rubber meets the road. Not to zag too much on your question, but I think Alabama is a class above Vanderbilt, and I think we're going to find out this weekend. I don't think this game's going to be particularly close.
Dylan?
Are you asking me the same question?
Yes.
I think it's a situation where Vanderbilt just has to have Alabama's number. That's
right.
Probably because realistically, you can look at the stats, and Alabama looks worse based on these stats, but the strength of schedule isn't even particularly close. I think Vanderbilt has 90-something, and Alabama has the third. Vanderbilt has the 91st according to PFF, and Alabama has the third to date. So even if you look at the stats and you look at Vanderbilt's like top 10, literally I'm looking at it right now, EPA per pass, EPA per rush, early downs EPA, third and fourth down success rate. And then you look at the 91st strength of schedule. I think where this game is going to be won for Alabama is on the defensive line, in the trenches on defense for them, because Vanderbilt's offensive line is not great. They have near the bottom of the barrel, and left tackle, right tackle, even left guard and right guard aren't great. The center's not bad. So I don't think Pavia is going to have a lot of time to make things happen. I didn't bet this game. I don't hate Vanderbilt to keep it close. Like 10.5 feels like too much with how good their offense has been, but I think Alabama wins this.
Carter, you asked the question, make the case for Vandy. I do have one point. It would be Vanderbilt's rushing attack and kind of dictating the pace of the game. Pavia, Cedric Alexander, and McKylan Young all average 5 yards a carry. And an interesting stat I saw, I think it was on covers.com, Vanderbilt's offense has been one of the slowest, most deliberate units in the country. The stat is only 5 teams have taken more time per snap this season, and Ohio State's the only Power 5 team above them. So it's drain the clock, long possessions, motion on pre-snap. Like, they don't rush things at all. That would be the key to success, is slow the game down, limit the possessions for Alabama, make do with your own possessions, score every time, and then hope for a red zone turnover, hope the game's close when the fourth quarter starts. That's kind of the path to success, is dictate the pace of the game. Do I think they'll be able to do that? Probably not. But if you want a path to victory, that's probably the answer.
And this is a lame thing to say, too. I mean, it's not great analysis, but this is also what kind of turned the tide in last year's game as well. Trick plays and turnovers. They got to have that in their bag this game, too. They got to whip that stuff out. Also, is it a little concerning that Vanderbilt's leading rusher is Diego Pavia?
I would be thrilled about it.
When you're playing like an Alabama, yeah, that's a concern, I think.
Diego Pavia is just going to have a Johnny Manziel type performance against
He'll
Alabama.
be there. See, I think Manziel will be there on the sideline, on Vanderbilt's sideline. Does that change your answer?
He will be there. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say Diego Pavia is going to play like prime Johnny Manziel. I'm going to say Alabama wins this one. But I also, there's just a weird part of me that I think this week will be a great indicator of this is, do Kalen DeBoer teams, because I think this was even the case at Washington too, do they just play down to competition? Is that just the nature of all Kalen DeBoer teams?
They shouldn't take this team lightly because of what happened last year, though.
You would think, but also
you would think.
But then they clearly took Florida State lightly. If this happens again, this is the narrative of a Kalen DeBoer team. I mean, I think it already is, because we saw this time and time again at Washington. Now, I can't say for his time in the FCS and everything, but yeah, just putting that out.
Can you play down to a 16th ranked Vanderbilt team?
Yeah,
I think Vanderbilt is
Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I really do, because if you're a 10.5 point favorite, you should probably have that game kind of in control.
I wrote this down. Vanderbilt so far this year, best quarterback they've played, Kyron Drones, and a quarter and a half of Lenore Sellers, who went out when it was 14-7 right before halftime. So
Utah State's quarterback
Bryson Barnes
sucks. Yeah.
well,
Bryson
okay.
Barnes love here. No love lost for Bryson Barnes.
I just don't think they've played, how do I word this, an elite pocket presence like Ty Simpson. Kyron Drones is not that.
That's fair.
I think Ty Simpson's going to have time, and I think he's going to dice up that Vanderbilt secondary. Against Georgia, I thought Ty Simpson, like we touched on, was great. He made timely throws, a few scrambles I thought were impressive, and he's got the weapons to do it. Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, and even Isaiah Horton is a wide receiver 3. He's caught 3 touchdowns the last 3 games. I think the weapons are there. I think Bama rolls in this spot. I got Bama by at least 2 scores.
Also, one surprised me how much Jay Miller got touches in the Georgia game.
Yeah,
I thought they might ease him in a little bit. They were like, "No, you're playing ball." The other thing is Alabama can't commit silly not just it's the turnovers, trick plays, and then it's also Alabama penalties. You can't commit these game-breaking penalties again.
They're lucky the Georgia D-bag just dove on the pile.
Yeah, exactly.
In the game.
Give me Alabama here. It's chalk. It's lame. I know.
Now let me ask you a question. What if Caden Proctor has a reception? Does that change your opinion on the game?
Now, are we going to be allowed to bet Caden Proctor anytime touchdown?
Oh my gosh, that's a Dylan bet if I've ever heard one.
That would be.
We need more offensive linemen catching passes.
That would be the most. Imagine hitting that bet, Dylan. I mean that. Hey, we'll talk about it on the NFL show, but we got some fun ones this week. We got some fun ones this week.
Oh yeah.
I hate to burst your bubble. They counted it as a rush because it was a backwards pass.
Oh, that's fine. It doesn't.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rush.
Okay.
Even better, line them up in the backfield.
We just need him in the end zone. Tush push with Caden Proctor.
I need
see.
Caden Proctor doing the Ashton Jeanty Michael Myers stance behind Ty Simpson. I need a screen grab of that.
At some point, we'll see the Derrick Henry where you throw it to Jam Miller in the backfield and he throws a little jump hot pass to Caden Proctor in the end zone. We will see that before the season's over, and we'll clip this.
And I better have Caden Proctor anytime. If it's available, I'm going to take it every single week now. By the way,
I'm sure FanDuel knows that. If it's available, FanDuel knows they're going to make $1 bajillion.
And they won't offer
that.
no price.
They won't offer no.
No price.
Let's quickly go through some other games real quick. Texas, Florida, games in the swamp. Texas -6.5, over under 41.5. The people in Las Vegas right now. What'd I say?
41.5 for a college football game.
I thought I said something wrong here. I got nervous. I was like, crap.
No, you said it right. I think it's hilarious.
141.5 is hilarious. The other thing that's hilarious is the sports books just say, look, no matter what, we're giving Florida a 6.5 point line. It doesn't matter who they play. They could be playing the Kansas City Chiefs. They're getting a 6.5 point line this season every single week. And my gosh, I want to take it every single time. And is this the week it finally comes in? Because I said it a couple weeks ago. I said, look, Florida's going to upset someone. It's coming soon. Mm-hmm. It's coming. We're getting a Florida upset soon. I don't know if it's this week or not. You would think with Arch Manning how he's not looked great, but then it could be at A&M next week. Because if this feels like a game, if they lose and Arch Manning comes out, Texas wins by 10+, and they control the game, Billy Napier is not. He's getting fired on the field after the game. AD's meeting him on the sidelines.
On the tarmac.
Both teams coming off of a bye. That's a pro defense thing, right? That's pro defense.
Yeah, but I think both these teams have very, very good defenses.
Let me ask you a question. This is, we're not going full in-depth preview here. Is Florida the best defense that Texas has faced so far this year?
No, I'd still take Ohio State.
Really?
Yes.
How confident would you be in that?
I would say fairly. Ohio State's defense is very good.
Florida's defense, 15th in EPA per rush allowed, 55th in EPA per pass allowed, and they've played a significantly tougher schedule.
Can I have a caveat to that? So with Florida's defense, I think there is this different thing in football where I think a defense is so much better than when they know that the offense has just absolutely no chance of scoring. And not like I'm saying I believe that defense is better because the Florida defense, they have no hope. They have no hope when the offense has the ball. And eventually you wear down and you break down in a game like that. This happened time and time again with Carolina Panthers. We've seen this with teams all over. That eventually when you just have no hope in your offense, it breaks down. We saw this with Michigan of last year, where the defense eventually, it's going to break because the offense cannot score.
So you do think Florida has the best defense?
No, I just wanted that out there because I think Florida is a very, very good. I think Florida is an elite defense. Don't get me wrong, but I would still take Ohio State. I don't want to discredit them for what they've done this season.
But when you're game planning as the Florida defense, you go ahead and account for 2 Lagway picks, right? At least.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. You're gonna say we're gonna play 35 more snaps than any other defense in the country because our offense can't stay on the field.
They start practice like down 10-0 in the drills.
Yeah, they start practice in the red zone.
Yeah. It's like, all right, short field again, defense.
So, real quick, here's what I think about it. I do think this is going to be the toughest defense that Texas has played this year. I think it's very easy. We're at week 6 to get lost in the mix, and we remember that Ohio State game. Texas has not played anybody since. San Jose State, I don't know if you're locked into G5 football like I am. They are an abysmal excuse for a football team. UTEP is hilariously bad, and Sam Houston State, obviously bad as well. So
Dude,
this is their first real test since week 1.
Arch flex in the end zone. Come on, they're good.
Yeah,
cool with that.
Of course you are, Carter. You
What?
scumbag?
I'm not cool.
Scumbag.
If that, do you know that other team was talking trash to him? They were making comments
you're
about
Arch
Daddy
Manning. You
being
play
a
for
Manning.
Texas. I don't even care. That is an
Smoking.
anti.
Have you ever played
that
a
is
sport? Have you ever played a sport? It's all talking back. It's all
the commenters
No,
have
but that's what I'm
infiltrated.
saying. Like, you've played sports where people are jawing at you. If someone's jawing at you, you have every right to go back.
You have every right to. That doesn't mean you have to. There's some red letters about that somewhere in a holy book, Carter. Just because you have the right to do something doesn't mean you don't exhibit self-control. That's one of the fruits.
But
it's one of the fruits of the spirit.
it'd be different if he was like ripping off his helmet and be like, "F you," all this. He just flexed on him. That's nothing.
You are Arch Manning. You play for Texas. You don't do that
were-
to lesser than.
Oh, my
What you've done unto the least of those, you've done unto me. Those are red letters, Carter. I think getting things back on track here. This is their first test since Ohio State. They've played nobody since then. I'll be very interested to see how Arch looks. Will he be flexing on people in the end zone? I don't know if he's going to be given that many opportunities to do so. I like Florida here to keep it close. I think this is the team they pick off.
I think one race to 10.
Yes.
10 points first.
yes, that's probably it.
Should this be the parlay pick? The under.
The other issue is which quarterback throws more interceptions in this game?
Oh, Lagway.
I think it's
There's your
gonna have
answer.
to be
Who's
Lagway.
winning this football game? I think Florida. I think Florida's upset. Gosh, I'm gonna be so mad too. I'm gonna be so mad because I'm gonna be watching this game 3:30 Saturday, and I'm gonna go on here and I'm gonna say Texas is winning this football game, and I'm gonna see Arch Manning just poop his pants in the swamp, and I'm gonna go, oh my gosh, of course this was the week, and I didn't pick Florida. I can't. I'm not picking Florida. I'm picking Florida against A&M next week.
Can we
And
just...
It's an interim coach game. I'm going Texas. The defense is too good for Texas.
Can we just see this Texas offense play against an average defense before I lay 7 points in the swamp?
No, I'm not laying
that would be my
points.
caveat.
I'm taking Florida spread. I'm betting Florida spread. I don't think Florida wins though. I can't trust Lagway against a good defense.
Yeah, that's my case. I love Florida. If you get plus 6.5, plus 7, I think Florida's the play there. San Jose State, UTEP, Sam Houston State. Can we see Arch Manning and this offense have success against somewhat of a good defense? And Florida's defense, like you guys touched on, they've played well enough to be 3-1 at least. Florida's defense has played well enough to be 3-1. They led up 18 to USF, 20 to LSU, who we all thought were world beaters at the time. Well, not us. We know ball. But a lot of people did.
Us.
And then 26 to Miami, but the score, like we talked about, lied a little bit. They had 13 points until there was 4 minutes left in that game. So I do think Florida's defense has played well enough to at least be 3-1. I love Florida here. I really do. I wouldn't be shocked if they went outright. I like them with the plus 7 for sure, but Arch Manning, this Texas offense on the road, I just want to see them against a decent defense. We saw it week 1 against Ohio State. Looked like shit. I want to see it again.
Which coach do you trust more in this game?
I don't know.
Flawed stat.
No, that's not a flawed stat.
That's a flawed stat.
Billy Napier versus Steve Sarkisian, both coming off a bye. I'm taking Steve Sarkisian 10 times out of 10.
I know why you have a little thing for Sarkisian now. I never knew he was the BYU quarterback. So now I know why you're always over here kissing up on Sarkisian. He's a BYU guy. He's a Cougar.
No, I do believe Sark is just a good coach, but
Oh,
Cougar,
yeah.
Until the game's close with a minute and a half left, then it all goes out the window.
We'll
Careful,
we'll
Connor.
Talk, we'll talk
Careful.
off the air. We'll talk
sorry.
off the
Be
air.
careful.
We'll talk off the air.
Arch
Other
versus
thing.
Arch versus Lagway. Big matchup, right? Surely this is like a top 10 matchup, right? Surely this is like two of the best quarterbacks in college football.
DJ Lagway, last two games, LSU 33-49, 287, 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions. Miami 12 of 23, 61 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So the interesting part about that is one, Billy Napier clearly lost all faith in DJ Lagway in that Miami game, so he is not going to be allowed to throw the ball. It is going to have to be done on the ground.
That works in their favor, though. I would much rather see that stat line than the LSU stat line in this game if I'm Florida.
I don't know. I think they're both pretty fair, equally
Dude,
cheeks.
if he's throwing the ball 42 times against Texas, he might have 8 picks.
And what's Arch
I don't
going to
think
have? 6?
Yeah, I think
That's the
so,
record
too.
for turnovers.
Get whiplash. My neck's over here going to be hurting because I'll be.
How fast
snap my neck.
do one of these quarterbacks get benched in this game?
Arch will not get benched.
Arch won't get benched, but Lagway might.
If it's bad,
Where's
enough,
Graham
I could
Mertz
see
when you
Arch-
need him?
I was about to say, where's Graham Mertz?
No thanks. Oh my!
When you need a
gosh.
game manager, where's
Gra-
Graham Mertz?
Graham Mertz coming in this game, it would be easy. I'd just be able to take Texas with the points, and all would be well in the world. There are a few quarterbacks in this world you get opportunities to bet against. Emory Jones is 1-1 on that list. If you have a chance in your life to bet against Emory Jones, you take it 100% of the time, and you will win. I went 3-0 in the preseason betting against Emory Jones this football season. Like you get a few opportunities in your life. Anyhow, I think Texas wins barely. But gosh, I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be texting you guys during this game going, you got to be kidding me. Arch is pooping his pants again.
I think it's 13-10
You have a chance
Texas.
to avoid that right now, though.
But I don't believe in Billy Napier. I just don't. I think he's going to be fired after this game, and I want in on that interim coach game with Florida. It's going to be the freaking assistant special teams coach coming in, taking over, and that's when I want in on this Gator team.
We spent too long on a mid-tier game.
That's a fun game, though. I got excited about that game. Quickly,
Imagine, wait, real quick. Imagine telling us in August that Florida Texas is like eh.
Yeah.
Like, we're all just like, great.
Yeah.
Like all the offenses suck.
yeah. Quickly, Texas Tech Houston is Texas Tech on upset watch with our Cougs. No.
No.
I think
No,
I
it's not going to be. Under's the play here.
Okay.
I actually like
Houston's
the under
offense
a
is
lot.
too bad.
I think Texas Tech's front seven is going to have their way with Houston's O-line, and I think they're going to make Connor Wegman's life hell on Saturday, unfortunately. And if you watch, I don't know if you guys watched the Oregon State-Houston game, 3/4 of that game, I was really having some doubts in my Houston Cougs because they looked like trash. And then they scored, 14 points in the last 6 minutes?
I was about to
Went to
say, up
overtime?
until the last 6 minutes, that's when...
That's why I said 3/4. 3/4.
Dylan, Michigan is the team that just sends coaches packing. You just beat them so
We
bad
do.
the coaches got to leave.
Yes.
Michigan will do that this week against Wisconsin. Luke Fickell will not be the head coach of Wisconsin after this week. Take.
I don't hate that. We have retired a lot of coaches, made them leave the conference.
Go to TV.
I am not. Yeah, go to TV. Not confident enough in Michigan to make any staunch claims. I think we have now turned the corner to where it's run up the score when we can, which I am pro. Sometimes you just need to see it. But back against the wall, Luke Fickell, what's he got? What do you got, man? Your job's on the line. Don't feel great about that. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. Anything else before we get to picks and swing to the NFL?
Virginia plus 7 against Louisville.
Yeah,
What are we doing?
Yeah, that's. I think that's the sports books telling us what's going to happen.
I think you're right. In Louisville, I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of college football bets this weekend. I'm gonna. This is a very light slate for me.
Any chance Boise upsets Notre Dame?
0.0.
Zero chance. 0.0.
0.0. Maddox Madsen is going to learn a thing or two in this game.
Cincinnati, Iowa State. Carter, you quietly
Cincinnati
touched on that.
That's my
Brendan
parlay
Sorsby,
pick.
the number one rated quarterback. That's your parlay pick.
Oh, let's get into it then.
Parlay pick.
That's a great segue.
Yep. Cincinnati's my parlay pick. You got to take the unranked favorite at home. The unranked favorite versus a ranked team. It's old as time. It hits at like an 80% rate. Just blind, take it.
I think you're right. I think that's a great pick.
Don't overthink this one. It does concern me a little bit. Cincinnati coming off that win against Kansas. Sorsby has looked pretty solid, but also he's looked solid against Northwestern State, Bowling Green, Kansas. I don't think he looked awesome in that Nebraska game by any means.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Anyhow, Cincy, money line, give it to me. Dylan, parlay pick.
Can I go Thursday?
Go for it.
New Mexico State plus 2.5 against Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State should not be a favorite to anybody in college football.
Should we go money line?
No.
Okay.
New Mexico State's rush defense specifically stout. They're going to make Sam Houston State throw the ball. That's a recipe for disaster if you're a Sam Houston State fan. So New Mexico State plus 2.5.
Connor.
It's a game we briefly touched on. Texas Tech, Houston under 50.5. It's one that immediately jumped out to me. I saw Dylan was on it as well, so that inspired me with more confidence, I would say. Texas Tech defense has been great so far this year. Like I touched on, that front seven is going to have their way with Houston's front. I think this is going to be a slower pace game. I think Texas Tech wins handily, and I don't think they get to 50 points total in this spot, so I love the under here.
I love it. Underdog picks. Dylan.
Do you want heart? You want brain?
Whatever you want. I don't care.
Nope, I need an answer. We're not doing this.
Heart,
Flip a coin
brain.
if you have to.
I kind of want heart this week.
I do too.
Minnesota Golden Gophers money line over Ohio State. Minnesota has the number one power-rated offensive unit in college football. Drake Lindsey is currently the 7th-rated quarterback in college football. And Minnesota's offensive line, decent. So, 24.5-point underdog, I think, at Ohio State. I'm going Minnesota money line.
What was your brain pick?
Temple money line against UTSA. I also had Wake Forest money line against Virginia Tech in the chamber.
Oh, that's my pick. That's my pick.
Oh, there we go. Go with it, Connor. Go with it.
We're going Demon Deacons this week. I'm sorry, Carter. I know you probably don't like this, but
I love
interim
it.
coach game.
If anybody watched the Georgia Tech Wake Forest game, which not many of us did, that's few the proud, the Marines over here watching ACC football like this, it's because I live bet Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech should not have won that football game. Wake Forest got absolutely hosed, and it's hilarious because I released the ACC officiating clip, and then immediately after the ACC just has a boneheaded decision that lets Georgia Tech walk and win that game with that neutral zone infraction. Love that pick, Connor. We're gonna keep it gross.
We try to give the ACC some credit. One step forward, 2 steps back. It's like, nice. They're letting us in the room. Like, the replay's awesome, and then they just screw that up. I love the Deacons. Robbie Ashford this weekend, he showed some heart. He was on the ground crying after that Georgia Tech loss. That's what I want to see out of my underdog quarterback.
And Robbie Ashford has been trying to play spoiler, but then he just kind of shoots himself in the foot and then kind of realizes, wait, Robbie Ashford stinks. That's a problem.
Virginia Tech interim coach game's over. We're past that now. Yep. It's time to bet against him. It's good deeds.
And also, Wake has been dying to upset someone. Love the pick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I want to get the odds for the parlay before I give my pick. Guys, I'm going to let everyone in on a secret. This is the grossest parlay we've ever put together in our lives.
Really?
I think we can maybe find a better example.
I was going to say, I think
no.
Challenge accepted.
No. Because if you put these 3 teams on a graphic, I don't think you realize how bad it's going to be.
Rich Rod, West Virginia.
No, I actually don't hate West Virginia with the points, though.
What, Dylan?
This parlay ends up being around plus 16,000.
Ooh. Oh, my gosh. You got to have a big one then.
Choo-choo. The Purdue Boilermakers are going
I don't hate it.
Illinois.
Carter, I don't hate it. I do not hate that at all. I don't hate it at all.
Can we move Minnesota to first half money line? Because Ohio State always comes out slow.
Sure, we can do first half.
Actually, you know what? I'll just take it with both. How about that?
There you go.
Deal.
Split your bet.
All right, so we've got Purdue money line, Minnesota money line, Wake Forest money line. Currently, FanDuel has it at plus 15,776.
Nice little
Go big or go
risk-free.
home.
Get yourself a little risk-free bet there. And
So,
not
yeah.
risk-free. I probably shouldn't say that, but no sweat, whatever they're calling it now.
If you put $1,000 on it, you win 157 grand. So
That's retirement money right there. Throw that in the S&P 500.
I mean, that's like what, half a unit maybe for us.
Yeah.
That'd get me through a week probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
That
chump
might
change
fund
at
my
that
NFL Sunday.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good maybe.